30.
Layoffs are imminent. They are unfortunately a consequence of this government shutdown.
President Donald Trump threatens federal layoffs as Congress remains deadlocked over a bill to reopen the government.
Plus, the Ohio Senate overrides one of Governor DeWine's budget vetoes.
And in sports, Ohio football continues MAC play this weekend with Ball State. Newswatch starts right now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Charlie Ehlenfeld.
And I'm Parker Davis. Welcome to Newswatch. The federal government shut down overnight after a deadlocked Congress failed to reach a deal before the deadline.
While Republicans are in control of both chambers, they do need votes from Democrats in order to fund the government.
Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook reports on the tension in the nation's capital.
Earlier this week, we saw the top leaders from both parties and both chambers meeting here at the White House with the stated goal of trying to come to an agreement to keep the government open. But in the hours and days after that meeting, it became clear that both sides were really digging in. And now that there is a government shutdown, the blame game continues.
Democrats want to play political games with the lives and the livelihoods of Americans.
Republicans have adopted a my way or the highway approach. They basically have said, take it or leave it with respect to our partisan Republican spending bill.
So what are the main sticking points? While Democrats are pushing to extend enhanced Obamacare subsidies, Republicans are asking for essentially an extension of current funding for another 7 weeks. When it comes to how this shutdown differs from those in the past, the threat of mass firings looms large. While it is typical to see some government workers furloughed during this time, the president is threatening a more permanent impact, which lines up with his long-stated goal to shrink the size of the federal government and could be seen as a tactic the administration hopes will force Democrats to support their plan without compromise. The last government shutdown took place at the end of 2018 going into 2019 during President Donald Trump's first term. It was the longest in more than 4 decades, lasting 35 days in total. At the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
As lawmakers remain deadlocked over the deal to end the shutdown, federal agencies are figuring out how to proceed.
While there is no end in sight, some essential services will keep running for the time being. Social Security benefits will continue, and so will federal loan disbursements and SNAP benefits, at least until the money runs out. Air traffic controllers and TSA employees will also report to work just without pay.
But other agencies like the FDA and the Health Department may have to limit their services until the government reopens. The Trump administration is threatening layoffs if lawmakers don't make progress toward a new deal.
We are going to have to lay some people off if the shutdown continues. We don't like that. We don't necessarily want to do it, but we're going to do what we have to keep the American people's essential services continuing to run.
Congress needs 60 votes to pass a temporary funding bill to end the shutdown. But as of now, no progress has been made toward a deal.
Well, after another beautiful day here in Athens, let's hand it over to forecaster Rachel Grant to see if it continues.
Yes, we are seeing plenty of beautiful days to come in the next couple of days. But for now, we're staying relatively dry. But for looking out to the west of us, we're seeing some storms happening just near Michigan, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Those clouds are coming in to the west overnight. But for now, we are staying dry and staying clear. 78 outside now, getting that gentle breeze coming in from the north. We're starting to see this cloud coverage really start to amp up overnight. Even though it'll be mostly cloudy tonight, we'll be seeing that low of 51 for us. This will be the first fall breeze that we'll be feeling to come in the next month or so. But as we're heading into tomorrow, though, we'll be above that 80-degree for our high and partly sunny skies. These clouds will continue into tomorrow morning and afternoon, but will clear out by our weekend, which I'll talk more about in my weather forecast. For now, we're going back to Charlie and Parker.
Thank you, Rachel. Just hours ago, the Ohio Senate overrode one of Governor Mike DeWine's budget vetoes. The measure will get rid of replacement, fixed sum, and substitute levies. Critics say restricting these levies will hurt schools and local governments, who can use them as revenue sources. In the 21-11 vote, 2 Republicans joined all 9 Democrats in opposing overriding the veto. The Senate's vote comes after the House voted to strike down the same veto over the summer. A new Ohio law bans the use of ticket quotas as performance metrics for police officers. Lawmakers say the ban will help officers operate more efficiently and ethically without the pressure of filling a quota. Current and former law enforcement officers showed support for the new ban, saying ticket quotas are not necessary for proactive police work and emphasize quantity over quality. The new law will allow police officers to use their own discretion when issuing tickets.
Federal Reserve Board member Lisa Cook will remain, at least for now. Back in August, President Trump fired Cook from the agency after the administration claimed Cook committed mortgage fraud. Cook called the charges against her, quote, manufactured. Earlier today, the U.S. Supreme Court announced it would hear arguments in January. The High Court also deferred a decision on Trump's request to have Cook fired immediately, which means she will stay on the job. The Department of Health and Human Services is trying to block Harvard from receiving future federal research grants. This comes 3 months after the department determined the university violated civil rights law by failing to adequately address anti-Semitism on campus. A federal judge says the government was using concerns about anti-Semitism as a, quote, smokescreen for its motive against Harvard and other elite schools. The same judge also ruled the administration's freezing of billions of dollars in research funding to Harvard was illegal.
Conservationist Dr. Jane Goodall died today at 91 years old. She was on a speaking tour in the U.S. when she passed from natural causes. Goodall was known for her work advocating for protection and restoring of wildlife. Her field work with chimpanzees included documenting primates' emotions and personality traits. Goodall is credited with changing the way scientists study animals.
It's all about the energy. It's about bringing the positivity of being together, supporting each other.
Coming up, community members gather to raise awareness against breast cancer and provide early detection measures.
And this Breast Cancer Awareness Month, researchers are urging women to not skip their first mammogram.
And it is hot, it is humid outside. I'll let you know when we can cool down when Newswatch returns.
Your first guest, Margaret Thatcher.
There's never been a woman Prime Minister.
Thank you for joining us, Mrs. Thatcher.
Goodbye then.
A quick intro and
presumably a two-shot.
He's your favourite journalist. You ready?
Yes. One mistake and they will have me out.
We have to be tougher.
To a fourth term!
I know what I have to do. What on earth is going on?
Betrayal.
Sunday at 8 on WOUB.
On Masterpiece.
Yesterday's robbery was the largest in world history.
We're looking for 6 robbers and 3 tons of gold.
That's very pretty.
That is how England works, lad. That lot have it and us lot nick it.
I shall take 25%.
Every ring, every watch. If you're looking for the gold, it's all around you. This will only get faster and faster, till one day, it's all gone.
The Gold, a new series on Masterpiece. Sunday at 10 on WOUB.
Now is the time for you to become the king you should be.
The Cartober fundraising drive is on. Help give back this month by donating your used car, truck, RV, or boat to our station. Donating is easy and it's tax deductible. Just call this toll-free number, schedule your free pickup, we'll tow it and give you a donation receipt. Can't donate a car? Spread the word by telling your friends or family. Learn more by calling this toll-free number or visiting us online.
Well, Rachel, the weather has been beautiful in Athens, but I mean, I'm just about tired of all this heat. Are we going to get fall temperatures soon?
Not anytime soon, unfortunately. I know. This is definitely a pumpkin iced chai week rather than the hot apple cider week.
Okay, what about the rain? Are we going to get any rain anytime soon?
That
Please
is
say yes.
coming up. Yes, that is coming up. It just won't be this week. You just have to wait until next week, get through this weekend. It's going to be really hot. It's going to feel hot. Not necessarily be hot, but feel hot. And I'll touch on that in a moment, but we are staying clear for now. We're starting to notice some clouds rolling in from the west as they are seeing some storms just out west near us here, but we are staying dry for now. And here's a zoom in at these clouds we're seeing. We're starting to see them coming in closer to Columbus and Cincinnati right now, but we are staying dry as can be. And we had mostly sunny skies today as well. High of 80 for us. Definitely not that fall temperatures we would love to see, but as we're heading into tonight, we'll start to notice a little bit of that dip down into it, but not anytime soon. Currently in the higher 70s for now, so very, very close to our high. We won't be seeing that low of 51 really until well past sunset. We're seeing mostly clear skies tonight. We're starting to see those clouds rolling in overnight, and that's what's going to bring us some partly sunny skies for tomorrow. And again, that high of 80. And as we're heading into the next couple of days, though, that's where we're starting to feel how muggy it actually is. So we're noticing how we're all in this 80-degree feel-like temperature as we're walking out the door. So that's relatively uncomfortable as soon as you're walking out the door. But if we're looking south of us here, we're noticing this big warm air sector here. That's going to move up in the next couple of days closer to us, and that'll bring us that unbearable feeling as soon as you walk out the door. It'll be very unbearable, and you'll definitely feel it. It's going to be very humid outside. It's going to feel the heat as you're heading into this weekend. So this is mostly come as we're heading into Friday and Saturday. So we're noticing tonight we're staying relatively dry, though. The stationary front is sitting just across Ohio and the Kentucky borders here. It's going to strengthen as we're heading into Thursday morning and afternoon. That's going to help bring up this warm air sector here, and it's really going to stay here for the next couple of days. Now we're noticing it's going to clear out, and we're going to start to see a high pressure system coming closer to us, and we'll really start to feel just how humid it is as we're heading into this weekend. So we're noticing tomorrow and Friday, seeing those highs of 80s for us, and then as we're seeing that going into Saturday with the high of 82, that's when we start to feel how unbearable it is as soon as we walk out the door. Now heading into Sunday, it'll be the same thing. So we're noticing this long warm air sector is going to stick around for a long period of time here. Heading into Monday, high of 84. Hopefully it'll dissipate by then, because that's when we start to see some showers heading into next week with a high of 80 and 75 heading into Tuesday and Wednesday. And finally, some rain. We'll see the rain return once again, but we just got to get through all this lots of sunshine and this humidity rising in the next couple of days. But the rain is in the forecast. It is just very, very far out from now. So it'll just be uncomfortable heading into tomorrow and Friday. Start to notice that being unbearable as soon as you walk out the door this weekend. And then we'll start to see the rain return as we're heading into next week.
Thanks, Rachel. It's the start of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this morning community organizations came together to raise awareness about early detection. I spoke with them about why events like Break for Breakfast are vital to places like Athens. It might be early, but HapCap, CareSource, and Ohio Health were wide awake for the 5th annual Break for Breakfast event.
It's all about the energy. It's about bringing the positivity of being together, supporting each other.
The event ensures people have avenues to get life-saving care. The key is to make it easy.
It's convenient. Come through, usually pull up, drive through, get a cup of coffee, get a breakfast, and stop and get a screening.
Break for Breakfast was designed to remove barriers to cancer screenings and attracts about 300 cars. According to the CDC, while cancer rates are lower in rural areas like Athens, Hocking, and Perry counties, death rates are higher, making events like this one crucial for early detection.
That's really what we're trying to highlight here. Breast cancer is a lot more treatable when it's detected early, and so that's kind of why the mammography unit is on site.
Ohio Health provided 3D mammography screening, something recommended for all women over the age of 40. The National Institute of Health reported breast cancer diagnoses have increased in recent years, but because of early detection, death rates have declined. And uplifting the community by saving lives is what Break for Breakfast is all about.
It's everything, because this is what community is. This is what Ohio Health is. This is what our team is about. It's about our community. It's taking care of each other. It's coming together and even having a good time and working towards wellness.
While the event might have been this morning, if you or a loved one needs access to a mammogram, go to ohiohealth.com and go to their mammography page to find local locations to schedule a mammogram.
A new study shows skipping your first mammogram can increase your risk of dying from breast cancer nearly by 40%. Researchers monitored more than 400,000 women up for 25 years. Among them, nearly a third skipped their first mammogram screening. Researchers found those women were more likely to have breast cancer diagnosed in advanced stages. Before spreading, breast cancer has a 5-year survival rate of more than 99%, but that rate drops sharply to about 32% when the cancer spreads to other organs. Chemotherapy is an effective treatment to cancer. However, there are many side effects, one being a change in patients' sense of taste, which results in food not being appealing during the treatments. Mandy Gaither explores how one cancer survivor learned to love food again.
It was the first day of retirement when Molly Miley received the results of her mammogram. There were signs of breast cancer.
It was shocking and shattered, my world for a while.
Next came surgery, chemo, and radiation therapy, and that's when she noticed her senses were off.
Food didn't look good. It didn't taste good. It didn't smell good. I had a very metallic taste in my mouth.
At the Ohio State University Comprehensive Cancer Center, Miley met Dina Champion and learned she's not alone.
It is probably one of the most common side effects I hear as a dietitian.
That's why the Garden of Hope was created. Miley and more than 200 other cancer survivors and their families get free weekly vegetables and herbs, nutrition counseling, and cooking demonstrations every year. It's all geared for those who may not be into food because of their loss of taste or sore mouth from chemo.
You can get outside, connect with nature, connect with your food as it's growing. And it's a space where we don't just talk to our survivors about eating more produce, but we actually go out there and we let them pick it.
Miley says it's one of the best things she's done since her diagnosis, allowing her to once again enjoy food.
It's definitely something we take for granted until it's gone.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Walmart says it's removing synthetic dyes from its store brand foods. Affected products include these various cheese dips, sports drinks, and cake frostings. Walmart officials also said they plan to remove an additional 30 other ingredients, including preservatives and certain artificial sweeteners. Walmart expects all of the ingredient changes to be complete by January of 2027. A new report shows 32,000 jobs from private sector businesses were also lost in September. It could be a while before investors and policymakers get more employment-based information. Because of the government shutdown, the Bureau of Labor Statistics will likely not release the latest monthly jobs report. The most recent BLS outlook showed the U.S. hiring rate fell to 3.2% in August. Other than the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, that's the lowest rate the rate has been since 2013.
Despite fears about job loss, ChatGPT is not coming for your job, at least for now. Since the chatbot's launch in 2022, researchers have been looking at changes in the distribution of workers among all the jobs available. The study shows the broader labor market has not experienced a major disruption since the chatbot's release. Researchers did, however, note the adoption of generative AI was at an early stage, and their analysis is not a prediction of the future. This comes as several companies are warning that AI is set to change how they run their businesses.
October is finally here, and the countdown to Halloween is underway. But this year, tariffs could lead to record spending. The National Retail Federation projects consumers will spend $13.1 billion on Halloween alone. Jen Sullivan reports on this fall's inflation rates.
It's October, and that means rolling out the pumpkins, ghosts, and goblins. But the most frightful thing about Halloween this year may just be the prices as shoppers feel the impact of tariffs and inflation.
Tariffs this year are on people's minds.
Catherine Cullen with the National Retail Federation says they saw people start shopping in September or earlier for Halloween because they're worried items will cost more, so they're spreading out their purchases.
Many of those costs haven't yet been passed on to consumers. It is impacting certain goods differently. We may be seeing it a little bit more in non-durable goods.
President Donald Trump implemented tariffs on a variety of imported goods to encourage companies to make products in the U.S. According to the Alliance for American Manufacturing, virtually all Halloween costumes on the market are imported, which means they'll be subject to tariffs. but Colin says tariffs have affected certain goods differently.
Less than a quarter of tariff costs have been passed on to consumers.
Candy and sweets prices are also up from a year ago, according to the latest Consumer Price Index. Shoppers are spending more on Halloween this year. The NRF says people are spending about $114 per person. That's nearly $11 more than last year.
In times of uncertainty, and we've seen this starting with the pandemic, during times of inflation and others, people are turning to these celebrations, these fun holidays where no matter what's going on in the world, you can dress up in something fun.
If those prices are giving you a scare, there are ways to save. Colin suggests shopping at discount stores, reusing decorations, and getting crafty with costumes and decor. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Next in sports, football gets into the swing of conference play when they take a trip to Muncie to face off against the Ball State Cardinals.
The Neanderthals were masters of their environment. They had evolved here for hundreds of thousands of years. And then they met us. But they didn't just meet, they joined. And it's etched into the DNA of every single one of us. They live on and exist within us. Human Neanderthal encounters on Nova.
Tonight at 9 on WOUB.
You are ready to go.
Did you get that? That is incredible.
We are a part of a revolution.
That, for me, is so exciting.
It's tough because my mom and dad are poor.
We lost our whole house and everything.
We can't afford to pay our bills.
Oh, wow, I'm gonna be a mom.
Being born poor can start off rough. It can be a difficult process because you limited opportunities.
The last thing that I want is for my kids to worry about what we're gonna have for dinner.
What can I do today to make myself better for tomorrow? When the future does come, I'm ready, and I'll be able to make it happen.
Tuesday at 10 on WOUB.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome to sports. I'm Charlie Lusk. With Ohio football's big win over Bowling Green in the rearview mirror, the Bobcats look ahead this Saturday when they travel to do battle with the Ball State Cardinals. The Bobcats continue MAC play when they travel to Muncie, Indiana. Last year's appointment was one to remember for Ohio. Parker Navarro's 5 touchdowns and 271 combined yards helped lead the Bobcats past the Cardinals 42-21, securing a spot in the MAC title game. Coach Brian Smith says a mix of offensive schemes can potentially bring the same level of offensive efficiency in this year's meeting.
Yeah, I don't think we've sacrificed on explosive plays either, because you want to make sure you are still able to push the ball down the field and create explosives in the run game. But I think if you are getting a good amount of first downs, it is showing that you are being efficient and you're being good in early downs.
With a solid start for Ohio, a pair of Bobcats on offense are being recognized for awards watch lists. Parker Navarro is on the short list for the inaugural Hispanic College Football Player of the Year award, and his favorite target, Chase Hendricks, is on the watch list for the Politnikov, going to the most outstanding receiver in college football. Women's soccer is in the swing of college conference play, and to continue their MAC season, they host Ball State Chesapeake on Thursday with a great chance to move up the conference. Ohio is tied for 6th in the MAC with 6 conference points. Bobcats have been a tale of two sides so far in conference play. 5 games, they've only conceded 5 goals, but only got in the back of the net 4 times. Facing another stout defensive team in the Cardinals, Bobcats will need a heroic attacking performance to get back in the win column. Well, the MAC swimming and diving polls came out today, and Bobcats were given a lot of love from the pollsters, being tied for 2nd in the polls. While not receiving any first place votes like Miami, Ohio still shares 2nd place. Bobcats returners returned several key swimmers like Junior Zeta Soak, who won the 500, 100, and 200 conference freestyle. Senior backstroke specialist Morgan Brown and breaststroke specialist Cassidy DeBita and Emily Ellsworth also come back to their junior years, who all competed in the MAC championship. Postseason baseball is here. Both Ohio teams lost Game 1 and went into the day facing elimination. Earlier today, the Guardians won big to save their season, and the Red season, however, faces peril later tonight at the hands of the Dodgers. Cleveland was waiting on pins and needles for 7 innings until O'Brien Rocchio solo homer in the 8th opened up the bats, leading to a 6-1 victory. As for Cincinnati, advancing looked unlikely after a rout in Game 1, but a late rally to cut the lead down to 5 showed some life for Cincy. A big Zach Littell pitching performance will be needed to even the series and advance to the NLDS. That's all we have for sports tonight. In the meantime, you can check out Bobcat Showcase on WOUB's YouTube channel, Bobcat Showcase on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Back to you on the desk.
Still ahead, a new Fat Bear is crowned. Stay tuned after the break to hear how this year's winner overcame the odds.
This street drove America toward revolution. This street fueled Western expansion. And this street paved the way for the shopping mall. Take a cross-country road trip on a historic highway. Walk a former Native American road. And hitch a ride on a 200-year-old toll road. 10 streets that changed America.
Thursday at 10 on WOUB.
Anyone can fly. Anyone can achieve anything they set their mind to.
American craft is something that we value. There's enough room and space and ideas to embrace a lot of diversity.
The thread in my work is always going to go back to the idea.
I owe the joy of working with threads to my dad and my mom, their heritage.
Friday at 10 on WOUB.
CastleWorks was not designed, created, or maintained by people who studied disability. They're people who studied opportunity. If a person has very limited movement and can make little teeny circles, there's a place for you. The idea of workers contorting themselves to a job is one business model. Our business model is that the job responds to the worker.
In some ways, Portsmouth was one of the last small cities to field a team and get a franchise. What was kind of extraordinary about Portsmouth was it was able to field an incredible team. For a brief moment in the sun, a little sweet spot that almost was sweet enough to get them a national championship, but they put together the team that ultimately did win the championship in 1935 in Detroit.
The animal world is crowning another winner for Fat Bear Week in at Alaska's Katmai National Park and Preserve. This year's winner, a bear named Chunk, claimed the top spot. Many were impressed not only by Chunk's weight as he bulked up for winter hibernation, but also his impressive way to deal with his jaw injury, which threatened to derail his salmon-eating activities. But clearly, he found out a way to come out on top. Well, guys, I don't know. I don't know if he deserved it. I like Flotato. I don't know how you guys feel.
Chunk overcame an injury. I think he deserved it. He worked hard for that win.
Well, certainly we're pretty far away from hibernation since it's so warm.
Yes.
But what's the weather looking like?
Absolutely. And it is surely not getting cooler anytime soon. We'll be in the 80s for most of the week. And the rain will turn next week.
Well, that does it for our broadcast this evening. For all of us, thanks for watching. And stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. Have a great night.